The song was Tell It Like It Is. The year was 1966. I'm Aaron Neville, and these are the sounds of the time.
Before he and his brothers banded together to become the Neville Brothers, Aaron Neville was just a kid on the streets of New Orleans, chasing the music.
Boy, you playing out there, and all of a sudden you hear a drum. Boom, boom. You don't know what it is, but you follow the music. And it's a second line parade behind somebody's funeral. You don't know who it is, but you don't care, because they got a bunch of people out there dancing to the music, you know?
And it wasn't long until he made his name known with the hit single, Tell It Like It Is, in 1966.
A fellow named Lee Diamond, he wrote it for me, and I recorded it in 1965, and it was released in 1966. And the first week it came out, it sold like 50,000 right in New Orleans, you know, and it just started running up the charts. So, and I'm running the streets, I'm, you know, doing crazy stuff out there, and all of a sudden I got a hit record.
It was a song that struck a chord with the whole country, peaking at #2 on the Billboard charts. But it especially hit home with the troops in Vietnam. For Neville, it was a love song. But for soldiers listening overseas, it was a much more reflective tune about their service in the controversial war.
Yeah, they say that Tell It Like It Is was being played over in Vietnam like continuously. It would bring them home, you know, they were happy to hear it, and it made me feel good.
The song may have brought the soldiers' hearts back home from Vietnam, but it would take another 6 years before the United States would bring the ground troops home from one of the longest and most disputed military actions in U.S. history.
Back when I was in junior high school, I tried to enlist, but I was too young at one time, and when I was 17, I went to jail for stealing cars, you know, joyriding and all that, so that kind of stopped me from being eligible, but I tried twice.
With his new hit record came the opportunity to play bigger venues.
So I got a chance to do some, you know, great gigs. I played the Apollo Theater in Christmas of 1966. They held us over 2 extra weeks.
And Neville's career only went up from there, especially once he teamed up with his brothers, officially forming as the Neville Brothers in 1977.
We started out, me and my brother Art and Charles were the first one. Art was first, and him and Charles, and later on Cyril came. We ran up and down the highway for 40 years, you know, playing good music. We played with the Stones, the Grateful Dead, Santana, Huey Lewis, you name it, you know. It was fun.
Eventually, each pursued their own musical paths.
It got to a point where I wanted to do some things for my own self, you know, and I couldn't do both.
Aaron's path led him to a successful solo career.
And the first time I went on the road, I was 19 with Larry Williams. He was a rock and roll star back in the days.
To recording with Keith Richards, to winning a Grammy with Linda Ronstadt for the well-known single, Don't Know Much.
I don't know much, but I know I love you.
She would say, you know, I think our voices were married. You know, I think we sang together in another life.
Today, Neville's looks prove to be as timeless as his music.
When I tell people how old I am, they be looking at me, you know. I say, well, you know, age and numbers is a concept made up by man. So whatever the Creator said, that's what you are, you know. And a lot of people are living older, longer, and a lot of them haven't taken care of their bodies to persevere with that, you know. But I've been trying to take care of mine.
But even after over half a century in the business and 50 years of singing his famous Tell It Like It Is, the smooth singer still finds himself having some not-so-smooth moments on stage.
I've sang that I don't know how many million times. And every once in a while I forget the words.